What is timestamps in Jenkins? Here's today's starting point. I have a Jenkins LTS controller, version 2.361.1. And on this controller, I have a sample job. Let's go ahead and go into Manage Jenkins, Manage Plugins, go over to Installed, and let's take a look at the plugin that gives us our timestamp functionality. So we'll search for timestamp, and it's actually timestamper. And this gives us the ability to add timestamps to our console output. So we have a couple of ways that we can add these timestamps to our console outputs. The first way is we can set it globally. So the way we do that is we'll go to Manage Jenkins, Configure System, and on this page, let's go ahead and search for timestamp. And you'll find the timestamper section. And we have one very simple way, one checkbox to enable this for all pipeline builds. So we'll go ahead and check on this box, click on Save, and then let's run our test pipeline. We'll click on Build Now. And if we take a look at the output of build number 2, we're going to see the timestamp added to every line in our console output. Now this is the first option, setting it globally, but we can also set the timestamps as an option within our pipeline. So let's go back over to Manage Jenkins and let's turn off the global option. So Configure System, let's look for timestamper, there it is. Let's uncheck this box, but before we leave, let's go ahead and look at the help. What we can see here is that when this box is checked, timestamps are going to be enabled for all pipeline builds. Sort of makes sense. When you check that, there's no need to use the timestamps option within your pipeline. Since we have a declarative pipeline, we're going to be putting the timestamps option in our declarative pipeline. So I'm going to copy this. Let's go back over to our job. We'll go ahead and, oh wait, I forgot to do that. Let's stay on the page and click on Save because I had unchecked, hadn't clicked Save yet. That's important. Let's click on Test Pipeline, Configure, and we're going to add in our option. In fact, let's figure out how we can get this. We'll go to Pipeline Syntax. We'll go to Options. Whoops, wrong place. Declarative Directive Generator. Now Options. Click on Add. And let's go down to Timestamps. Now, when you select timestamps here, and notice there are no options to add, when you click on Generate Declarative Directive, there's actually a small bug here. Let's go ahead and copy this over, and then I'll show you how to fix this bug. We'll go to back to our configuration. Let's add in our options. And do you see what the bug is? When we generated that directive, it forgot to include our open and close parentheses. So if you were to copy over options timestamps without the parentheses and you try to run the job, then the job's going to fail. But by adding the parentheses, everything's going to work out fine. So let's go ahead and click on Save and click on Build Now. And when we take a look at the output of number 3, notice here that the only time that we see timestamps as compared to the globally turned on version, we only see our timestamps within the pipeline, not at every line along the console output. So this is up to you. Do you want to have lines showing on every line, like we saw in our build number 2, all the way from the top to the bottom? Or do you prefer, as we see in build number 3, only having timestamps at the parts of the pipeline where things are happening within the pipeline? The option is up to you. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.